know the power of the dark side.
But you know, happiness can be found even in the darkest of time. If one only remembers to turn on the light.
The beacons have been emitted! The beacons are lit!
Night gathers, and now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death.
Remember it well, then. This night.
For in those memories, we live on.
Do not cite the deep magic to me, witch.
I was there when it was written.
Call the banners.
All of them, my lord.
They've all sworn to defend my father, have they not?
They have.
Now we see what the words are worth.
But take heart. Look around you. You're not in this fight alone. We face our enemy together. And together, we will defeat them.
By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand! Men of the West!
What is up, everybody? The beacons are lit, and well, I don't know where I was going with that, but whatever.
I've been there.
So I literally just changed my entire mind of what everything we were going to be talking about tonight was, because I was scrolling through Twitter during that glorious intro, and I found this, and I got angered.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Ubisoft executive says gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games for subscriptions to take off. You know what? This is the biggest piece of horse shit I've ever heard in my life. First, you've got fucking what is it? Best Buy that decides they're no longer gonna sell physical media, and now we've got an executive at what, the second or third largest gaming company in the world telling us that we're not going to telling us we're not going to own our own games.
If you don't mind me kicking this off,
yes,
I think
and
this
I need
is,
you to for 1 second.
I think this is very much in line with subscriptions and streaming right now, and I think they're gaming companies like Ubisoft and Rockstar, because Rockstar had previously said something about the whole Grand Theft Auto thing. So I'm starting to think now that they're seeing people are kind of, well, we know this, that people are sheeps for the most part, and will just kind of go along with things. And I even got trapped in the whole having 6 different streaming services at one time. And I think this is like they're trying to cash in on the streaming style now. And I already don't game as much as I used to, but this is going to push it even further to where I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't really care. I don't really care about this game that much to subscribe to a game. It makes zero sense. And I don't know if they're going to do it individually or company wise, but if we start seeing things like Rockstar has a streaming service for games, Ubisoft has a streaming service, EA has a streaming service, I'm going to get fucking pissed, and I'll probably just start not playing as many games as I used to play.
So real quick, there's two things we've got to deal with. Let's take care of the good one first. Crimson Law with the $5 super chat. You need to get comfortable giving us money to own nothing. Piss off.
You will eat bugs and you will like them.
And here is your reward.
I hear. Yeah.
I'm so gonna get struck for that music.
You might not. That was short. You might not.
Well, you would know short.
Okay.
The other is look who decided to show.
Late. Hey, that actually worked. You just wanted.
What was that?
Brian, bring me. Yeah, I was gonna say, bring me back.
You just really wanted to use that one. That was perfect.
Yeah. I was waiting for that shit.
No, I was just doing it on purpose.
Okay, get your goddamn camera on. We already bitched at you once today for it.
I know.
Oh shit!
God. Oh my god.
That's great.
Hang on.
Bring him back in. Bring him back in.
That scared me. Did that scare anybody else?
Yeah. Hello.
So I had to pop off for a second. Quick rundown of what you were saying. I assume is fuck Ubisoft.
Fuck these gaming. Not just Ubisoft.
No, that's a lot of them.
Fuck the Rockstar too. As much as I love Red Dead, fuck them for even suggesting this. I think they're really gonna try to start. I don't know if they're gonna instill this in 2025 even. They might push it to 2026. They might be putting this out there just to get people used to the idea of it first, because it started with Rockstar a couple months ago. I know we covered this on I think both of our channels at one point, but I don't see. I think they are trying to take the same foundation that streaming platforms have done, and they're going to try to instill it for video gaming now. Fuck that. And look at the amount of people that just. So I know many people, and myself included, I'll start a subscription, cancel one, and then when a new show comes out, I'll come back onto it.
Yep.
It's not a good framework for these companies, especially for gaming companies. Okay, so they're getting they're getting greedy.
This is what's so crazy about this. So what's the game called? Avatar. Pandora Tomorrow, is that what it's called?
Frontiers
of Pandora. So that came out 2 months ago.
Yeah, about that. Yeah. It came out.
Beginning of December, I think.
Yeah.
So I got Ubisoft Plus, which I think is $18 a month to play that. So I'm now into my second month of paying $18 a month. I'm at $36. So I've got 2 more months before I have gotten to the point of what I would have paid if I just bought the game.
So
that's why I just bought the game.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm not going to play that game much longer. I haven't played it in a month.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't played that much of it either. But I do enjoy it as something to just hang. It'll be a game that I play when, I can't fall asleep at night. I just want to hang out, do something and run around and play a game.
That's what Sea of Thieves is for.
Well, it's that same in that same vein. You know what I mean?
But the problem is what they've created is a cheaper way of playing 85% of the games that they come out with. So, how many of us have spent less than 24 hours?
Well, you already.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I cut you off. My bad for that.
So how many of us have spent less than 24 hours on most of the games that have come out in the last 5 years?
Not a lot. Okay. So that actually brings up a good point, because when I bought Survivor, I pre-ordered Survivor, got it early. The second High Republic was mentioned, I stopped, and as you know, I recently picked it back up. But that's the benefit of owning the game. I don't have to keep up a subscription and keep paying for it. When I feel like picking up the game, I spent my money on it. I can play it from here. I wanted to raise this question, though, or this perspective to you. This doesn't look good from Ubisoft's standpoint, based off of what the whole announcement they made earlier in 2023 about their new line of Assassin's Creed games. It sounds like they're really going to try to push this whole subscription thing, and then 100%. You get all the games and you're just in the Animus, and then you can just select which game you want to play. Fuck that. I'm not going to sit there and pay $15.99 or whatever they're going to charge for you for a month. I'd rather not play the games. Assassin's Creed's already in the gutter in that sense, where it's not even that exciting for I don't care about it that much to sit there and pay subscriptions.
Not only that, you might not even like half of those games.
Exactly.
Yeah. Imagine getting told you have to buy the 9 Assassin's Creed games you already own again.
Well, and also get your head out of your ass. You need to get comfortable not owning the games that you buy. That is so pretentious.
So let's look through this article real quick.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I will say one company that did that correctly was you paid $60 and you got Halo 1 through 4, and then they gave you Reach and ODST for free on the same game with the Master Chief Collection.
Well, but
that's how you do that.
What's the point in think platforms like Steam and Xbox Game Pass if you have to now subscribe to an individual company? What's the point of those things?
There's no point at all. But what I'm saying is like that company did it correctly where they're like, no, our fans deserve to have these games. We'll put the 2 remasters. They already paid a fuck ton of money for these games in the past. Let's just put them all on the same disc and boom, here you go.
No, I understand that, but what I'm trying to say is like this. I don't think companies like Steam, Epic Games, or Game Pass are going to be okay with this. I think this.
No, they're not at all.
Yeah, but
yeah, doesn't Sony also or not just Sony? Never mind. EA is what I was thinking of for a second.
Yeah. So let's look through this. Can y'all let's scroll, zoom in a little bit. Oh my god! I thought that said "Together We Are MAGA" for a second.
The base Ubisoft.
Base Ubisoft.
That is IGN. An executive at Assassin's Creed maker Ubisoft has said gamers will need to get comfortable not owning their games before video game subscriptions truly take off. Speaking to discuss the launch of Ubisoft's new Ubisoft Plus Premium and Ubisoft Plus Classic subscriptions, Tremblay, director of subscriptions at Ubisoft, explained to GI Biz what needs to happen before subscription services become a more significant slice of the video game business. I don't have a crystal ball, but when you look at the different subscription services that are out there, we've had a rapid expansion over the last couple of years, but it's still relatively small compared to the other models. This is going to be such a shit game. We're seeing expansion on consoles like, geez, I can't even fucking read tonight. We're seeing expansions on consoles as the likes of PlayStation and Xbox bring new people in. On PC, from a Ubisoft standpoint, it's already been great, but we are looking to reach out more on PC, so we see opportunity there. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to a little bit like DVD owning their games. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's the transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. As gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there. That's not been deleted. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. I still have 2 boxes of DVDs. I definitely understand the gamer's perspective with that. But as people embrace that model, they will see that these games will exist, the service will continue, and you'll be able to access them when you feel like that. That's reassuring. Okay, real quick. How many times have Diamond, you got anything you want to say about that real quick?
No, go on.
Oh shit. So one of the problems with running a stream is, StreamYards has 4 different links, and you get stuck on reading on like just keeping your brand open. That you don't go back to your comments, which I didn't do. So 1 second. Pilgrim says it'll come for movies next. Physical media is superior. Physical media is far and away the best thing you can do. It's so dumb to not own the stuff that you like.
I just want to comment on that. I was under the impression you were a professional channel. And
me,
yeah, and
that's real cute.
To not read the comments, you should feel very ashamed of yourself.
I do, yeah. but what I feel more ashamed about is the fact that I missed Star Wars Dog and the Gatekeepers Daimyo gifting a membership.
Yes.
I tried to. It's not letting me do it.
Oh, that's probably because you're insufficient on funds.
No, it's just not giving me the option.
I don't even have a job, and I was able to.
I give super chat, but I don't give somebody a membership.
From me to the two of y'all. I wanted to go with the the scene at the beginning of Return of the King where they all yell "Hail," but I was like, no, I'm not copying other people, so
no, that one's even
I'll
better.
just do toasting.
Yeah, that one's even better.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, dog. I'll figure it out one day.
When?
But what's so funny about this is while Daimyo addresses how he feels about what we've read so far, I've got something I'm going to pull up that's going to basically make him sound like a big old bitch. The guy that was being interviewed, not Daimyo.
Oh, okay. That sounded like you were talking about me. I was like,
yeah, no,
damn.
sorry. I finished the sentence and
Way
immediately
to
realized,
shit
I
on
need to
me.
address
All
this.
right.
Dickhead.
Did you just say snakehead?
I said, fuck you. Yeah, I said dickhead. Oof.
So, Daimyo, what are your thoughts on what we've read so far?
Up to 40% off. Elevate your setup. That's
Look, I mean, it's pretty much the same as what I've been saying since the start of the stream. They're getting greedy. There's no incentive for us to do this, and for them to say that we need to get comfortable with it is a big fuck you to the people that have been supporting this company for a while. I've played more than half of the Assassin's Creed games. I think this is completely disrespectful to fans like all of us, because I know we've all enjoyed Assassin's Creed games, and I kind of want to, like, it's getting me like riled up to be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to get comfortable with that. I buy these games for a reason, so I can play them whenever I want. Don't sit there and loop me into a subscription where I then have to pay $5 to $15 a month when I'm already paying for all these other streaming services. They're literally taking the same foundation as the streaming, and we've seen streaming doesn't always work out. Like, there are a few shows, sure, that will be exclusive to these streaming platforms, but you also have the opportunity to watch other things that stand outside of the company's productions. So I think this is going to fail off the bat. So if these companies start creating streaming services and platforms for their specific games, they better have other games in there for incentive for people to actually go on and play. Because
not only just that, think about it. If Sony were to do that and Xbox doesn't, Microsoft could gain a lot more players on their side, because nobody wants to pay monthly to play Sony's games.
Well, and also, I don't want to get stuck on these individual companies. If there's thoughts and plans for companies to start merging in that sense, where you'll have a bunch of different gaming companies under one platform, I'm gonna start getting really angry with video gaming. I think it's gonna overall. I don't know that everyone's gonna feel the same way I am feeling about it, but I'm gonna start boycotting specific shit. If that happens, I'll play the games that I own, and I'll just keep replaying them.
I have all the games that I loved growing up. I can still go back and play them, or I can go buy some that I don't have. But think about it, like right now. I mean, look at Caleb. He's loving 6 Days in Fallujah. That's not made by a big gaming company.
Well, that's also, if I'm not mistaken, a beta right now, right?
There's a lot of games that are coming out.
Beta, early access. What's the difference now?
Well,
but I think it's early access.
Well, but if it's labeled as early access, right? You got to wait till that game launches officially, right? Because they're doing the early access to weed out all the bugs, right?
Well, I think now it's to the point where they are trying to figure out what they're going to add. But on that game specifically,
a lot of
access in
people
general.
are playing this game and they're enjoying it. There's a lot of people playing other games from small content creators, or not content creators, but like game creators, developers that are enjoying it. And these are not big companies. These are people, it's like 30 dudes in an office building that rented it out to make a game, and it's blowing up. Like that. That's how Party Animals became a thing, and everybody loves that game. Even if you don't play it.
The only thing...
1 second. Dog, they are coming. I will have them next week. I will have some next week.
One of them will be my Gatekeepers Daimo logo.
Sure, maybe.
No. All jokes aside,
one of them gay Roman.
Well, no. What?
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
No,
shut for 1 second.
Shut
your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're just coming off stupid.
That's from Rolo, by the way.
Yes, I understood that. I think I've said this before, either on the Witan or one of my streams, that I think the only smart way of doing this subscription thing is that it's optional. So if you're not convinced yet that you like the game and you don't want to spend the $80 to $100 that it costs, you have the option to subscribe. $5 a month. You play the game. If you play a certain amount of hours of it, it automatically charges and you buy the game. And you know that coming into the game, that if you subscribe after 30 hours or a month, you have to buy the game. So it's time-based and also hours-based for playtime. And that's the smart way of doing it, so that the people that are on the fence about this game can have the time to figure it out. And if they keep playing it, their card gets charged. They can own the game. They can play the rest of the game. Or even they can set it up to where you get to a certain point in the story. So you can play up to 1 hour of the actual storyline, not necessarily 1 hour of gameplay. But, they work it out in that sense. And it would be difficult on their side to figure that out. But I think that's the only smart way of actually pulling off the subscription-based gaming is if you're what's up, Purist? If you're going to be like, if you're stupid enough to sit there and pay $5 a month, maybe there's other accesses that you can get, like other parts of the map or collectibles that you get if you subscribe for 6 months, let's say. But what they should do is the subscription should be targeted towards people who are on the fence. And if you don't know if you want to buy the game right then and there, you subscribe for a few months or for however long, like what I was talking about. And at a certain point, if they deem it like, okay, well, you're enjoying this game, if you're still here with us, then you do the rest of the purchase and it's at a discounted price because you've already paid a certain amount, or you just leave it as whatever. I'm not a business major. I don't know how you would weed that out, but do you follow what I'm saying, Caleb?
Yeah. So that's what EA has done for a very long time. EA has had basically every main game of theirs, any what's it called? Any Madden game, any FIFA game, all the main things. They did it with Battlefield 2043. They all have a 10-hour demo that you can play the game for 10 hours and then buy it. Inside of that 10 hours, you can do anything, absolutely anything. So it's not like you are locked out of half the game in order to play it. You have to buy it in order to play these things. You just get 10 hours of free time to determine whether or not you like it. Now, I was trying to find the list of the games that are leaving Game Pass, but for some reason I can't find it. But that's what I was talking about when I said that eventually, these ideas that subscriptions are going to be the way to go, that the fact that you've got games leaving the subscriptions is what's going to, I think, destroy this whole idea. Mm-hmm. Like, the reason that Netflix and Disney Plus and HBO and all this shit. The reason it theoretically works is because there's a million titles. And we don't all care about owning those million titles. But with video games, there's a lot less titles. And so when they start removing things that in some cases are real big games from that thing, you're no longer allowed to play, whether or not you bought it in 2005 when it came out or you subscribed in 2027 when it came out. When they start removing these things and they prevent you from being able to play the game that you spent money on, that's where I think there's a problem. And as we finish up that statement, once again, the two crazy daimios and dogs. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. So,
I'll take a shot for that one.
Rollo, what do you think about all of this? After you finish your shot.
I can wait. I think it's ridiculous. I think Game Pass on its own has worked for many years, and it's been a great thing that has allowed a lot of people.
Hold up. Hang on.
Who we got?
I know what you're pulling up.
Oh my God, Rollo. Are you fucking kidding me? You're still in VC.
No fucking way, am I?
No fucking way, man. Man, I'm still in VC, man.
Yeah, I am. That's hilarious.
I just screenshot.
I love seeing all the members in the chat now that me and Dog have provided for.
Oh my God, that is very cocky attitude right there. Holy shit!
That's not even like a John.
What's up, Spud?
What's up, Tater?
Damn.
Oh, the other thing I want to say. So this dude that's being interviewed, what was his name again?
Shit, I didn't even finish.
Felipe Tremblay. 50 years old, probably 40, 50, somewhere around there. 2 boxes of DVDs.
What's up, Spud?
I still have 2 boxes of DVDs, and he expects us to believe that he's on the same level as us. How many movies you got at your house, Rollo?
200 probably at least.
Damien?
Sorry, I missed the question.
How many movies do you like? Physical movies do you have?
Me personally, like 2. My parents, like hundreds.
You're probably gonna get those soon. Well, no, sorry, shit.
That sounded so fucking wrong, dude.
My parents aren't that old, bro.
Right.
I meant like, oh my God. You know what I meant.
Yeah, so the movie thing is an interesting one. I don't know where you were going with that. I only buy movies that I love so much that I'm willing to buy. And I'm pretty sure you know what movie I own. You're going to say Birdman, but no, it's The Revenant.
I was going to say There Will Be Blood.
No. I own The
Law
Revenant.
has gifted 1.
Hey, you don't own Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Crimson Law has gifted 1 King's Advisors membership.
I will say, like being my age, like it does make more sense to purchase specific movies on specific platform. So like the amount I use YouTube, their movie thing makes sense because you can purchase movies on YouTube and then they get stored there. So as long as you have a YouTube membership, you have that movie in high definition and you can watch it whenever you want. You can link your YouTube to your TV. It's good. But what I was saying about my parents, like, so you had brought up Rollo Star Wars. Like my dad owns the original trilogy on, he bought the box set. So we have that. But you know, I don't feel inclined to actually go out and buy physical media for movies. I do buy physical media for games. That's a different story. But
so I agree with that one. Because for me personally, like when it comes to Halo, I know it's always a joke, but like that's like my favorite game series. So Halo and Elder Scrolls, every single one, even if I can get it on Game Pass for free, I still buy the physical media because
Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor, Caleb, and pull up Purist's last comment? I hate to break it to you, big guy, but VHS is like that's like a decade in the past, bro. Like we had all the like I started my Star Wars journey with VHS,
with
original
VHS.
trilogy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have them.
So it was the 3 movies plus the special edition, like behind the scenes stuff. That's what I started with.
Potter on VHS,
but the VHS, bro. That's
Lord of the Rings on VHS.
You should just save those and hang them on a shelf somewhere, and then start buying other media you can actually watch.
That's very true. I had plug-in
plays. All right, let's just make sure that there isn't anything left. It's fair to say Tremblay's comments haven't gone down well with some of the gamers who prefer to buy their video games on disc as opposed to downloading them or streaming them. Look, streaming is the one area I will never go with video games. I think that is dumb. And there's other words I'd use to describe that, but I don't know if I can use those 31 minutes in. I think I have to use those 2 hours in.
Can you pull up Spud's last
hang on. But it's worth noting, it's worth pointing out that Ubisoft, like many other video game publishers, does still release its games on disc. And while digital sales have grown as a portion of overall sales over the years, a significant portion of players still prefer to own their games. I would love to see a breakdown of this.
Yeah.
Trimley's comments also bring up the issue of video game preservation. As more games go down the digital route or rely upon an internet connection to work, so does the risk that these games are lost to time when their servers are shut down. Developer Remedy Entertainment was heavily criticized for releasing Alan Wake 2 as a digital-only video game to keep the price below $70. I don't give a shit.
Be right back, fellas.
Like, that's... And this is one of the things that bugs me about, I guess, video game owners, is that video games were $60 for
20 years.
Yeah, about 20 years. Like, I mean, Halo 3 was $60.
Yep.
Revenge of the Sith might have been $50, but that shit was still
it was always between 45 and like 60, and then if you got like the special edition or the
that's where.
Then that
but
was
to be so like people got so angry when they raised the prices from $60 to $70. It's like, bro, everything else on this planet has risen in price except for video games. So give it a rest and accept the fact that we had 20 years of the same price, and during those 20 years things got better. So it's not like that the game that you bought in 2005 or in 2003 was just as good as the game you bought in 2022.
No, and
they were so much better. And to think that the video game that you're complaining about in 2022 is priced the same when it's a million times better than the game in 2002, I think is ridiculousness.
Well, here's the thing too: you can get a game from you can probably get Halo 3 for like $30 right now.
Hey, I'm just curious. Do you know that other games exist?
No, I'm just saying. I'm thinking of you can get Black Ops 2 for like $25.
There's other games than Halo out there.
Shit, dude, he came up with Black Ops 2.
You can get Oblivion. You can get Oblivion for cheap. You can get the old Metal Gears. And those games used to be pretty expensive back in the day, but they have to raise the same way that everything else has to raise. I don't mind spending 10.
Everything else doesn't have to raise, but what the reason that I'm kind of complaining about video game people in general is because no one, the fans, the pricing was not passed on to the fans in almost any way, with the exception of things like cosmetics and things like that. The idiots that wanted to have the different emotes and the different costumes in Fortnite and all that kind of shit basically subsidized the video game industry for the last 5 years. So I'm okay with the idea of paying a couple bucks more as long as the game's actually finished. I mean, that's a different conversation. But
how many games have you played this year that have been finished?
Well, I just finished playing Mass Effect 2, and I'm on Mass Effect 3.
I'm talking about games that came out this year that have actually felt finished.
2, I think.
Which are?
Hogwarts Legacy, and as shocking as you'll be, Jedi Survivor.
I was going to say the same too.
Did I like Jedi Survivor? Not really, but it felt finished.
It was finished.
I'm
not including like Resident Evil because that's a remake. I'm not including stuff like that. But there's a lot of games that just drop and they're just buggy and buggy and buggy and buggy.
So I think we kind of talked this to death. While I try to fucking
hell. Spud, fuck you.
Spud said something that's funny too, because Spud said Rolo looks like somebody whose grandma smokes cigarettes.
Rolo's the kind of guy to have a grandma that smells like cigarettes. I think
he's very correct.
Most people our age could have a grandmother that smells like cigarettes.
Yeah, no, my grandmother always smelled like cigarettes before she died. No, I'm kidding. But she's dead.
So both your grandmothers are alive?
No, only one. And she doesn't
smoke
cigarettes. She quit cigarettes a while ago. She's just got dementia.
Okay, fucking hell. Daimyo comes in with a gifted
I'm just
membership.
Fucking really.
I'm just trying to get Dog to
beautiful
drop one down too. No. This isn't me being kind to you, Caleb. I expect the same.
Music. I was talking about the music.
Oh yeah. I expect the same thing a year from now.
All right.
Yeah, maybe.
You do look like a slow kind of fella.
Which one?
Which one? Me? All three of us, probably.
You son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
Ah, see, I knew it. And Sundowners is lurking in the background.
Yeah, he is.
Star Wars Dog gifted 1 membership.
The fuck is Sundowners and Dog doing?
There we go. I finally got the fucking beer open.
I gotta take 2 fucking more now. Every time someone
No. Take it slow, Rolo. We still want you present during this.
I'm not doing this for you, Daimyo. I'm just doing this for Dog and whoever else gives a membership.
No, I'm saying we want you present and coherent during this.
You really don't need to. Let's slow it down. This is not the history of pirates. This is not Camelot. We don't do shots for shit. That's not happening.
Oh, it's happening right now.
No. Okay, fine. So, Daimyo.
What's up, buddy?
Look, I mean, to be fair.
Well, to be fair.
Oh, don't say to be fair. Hate when people say to be fair.
No, to be fair.
To be fair. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
It would be really awesome to watch Rolo pass out. And just like
I'm not that much of a lightweight. I've only taken 2 drinks.
We've literally watched you fall asleep on stream.
That's for different reasons. I'm sure different reasons.
To be fair.
So what else do we got on the drawing board tonight?
So James Bond.
Yes, I watched your video. If you guys haven't, please go watch his video on what's his fucking name?
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti. Yeah, I knew it was some Italian fuck.
Also known as John Adams.
Yeah.
So he wants to be a Bond villain.
Interesting.
Thoughts?
Yeah,
From that
so
initial statement.
I mean, I can see him doing it. I don't see why he couldn't.
So you and I have talked about this in other like Discord and whatnot, and I listened to your video. I actually disagree with you on just the aspect of him not being able to play a straight up evil person. I think he's what we've seen him in is typically an antagonist, but not evil character. I think he has the capability as an actor to actually pull off someone that is downright like you hate him the second you see him, and the more you see him, you want him to die, which is kind of the point of a Bond villain, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, so here's the thing about that though. I can't really think of many of the Bond villains, and Sundowners is apparently in the chat, but he's lurking. And he's a relatively big Bond fan. You know, he grew up with that. You know, he's 50, so but there's only like 2 Bond villains that I kind of sat there and were like, I cannot wait to see this guy die.
Okay, so it's not I may have misspoke. It's not that like you're anticipating his death and you hate him that much, like a Cersei character.
Or a Joffrey.
Right? Like a Joffrey.
Both of who sat on this wonderful throne.
Yeah. But my point being is that Bond villains are known for.
I got that.
Look, there's no sympathizing bullshit with the villains in Bond movies. You know who the villain is. He's inherently evil. You might not wish him to die, but they don't do this. They don't fill in gaps with exposition and make you empathize with the villain. He's a villain. He's bad. He's a bad guy. Yes. I think Giamatti could fill that role. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Right?
You know what I think Giamatti would be better at?
What?
Make him a Kingsman villain in a Kingsman movie.
Okay, well, way to throw off the whole topic, but yes.
Well, it doesn't throw the topic off. I'm just saying it's a very similar role, but like you wouldn't have Samuel L. Jackson as a villain in James Bond, but he worked in that role as a villain in Kingsman.
I could actually see Samuel L. Jackson playing that role after Django.
After Django, 100%.
After Django, I could see him doing that shit, bro. Where you're like, fucking tap that motherfucker.
But if he doesn't work for a James Bond villain, then make him work for a villain in a similar.
Well, okay, so I'm not trying to be a dick, Rolo, but try to crank it back. And what I was talking about with Giovanni, like, could you? I see him filling the role. Giamatti, sorry. Yeah, I see him filling those shoes correctly as a Bond villain, not any other IP, but Bond villain.
I'm not saying he can't do it.
No. I just want your opinion on what you think about that, because I personally, there's that one. It might even be a Disney movie. I'm forgetting it, where they end up dyeing him blue. Look, this might sound funny, but
Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar.
Yep.
He legitimately played a villain in that movie, not even antagonist. So antagonist, villain, I think that's a game of semantics. But at the end of the day, he was the character that was framed as the person that you're not supposed to like. And he filled that role well. I think he could actually pull this off. If he was some big billionaire where, he's trying to make a whole bunch of different moves to make money and selling some piece of technology or nuclear weapon to a different country, and 007 had to go out and chase after him and take him out. I'm all for that.
Have you watched this season of Reacher yet?
I 100% agree, Damio. I think he could be great in that role as like a tech mogul or something like that.
Yeah.
He'd be perfect. Just
I wanted to pull up what his kind of checklist was, and this is the thing I used in my video. He wants an accent. Oh my god, this is a terrible website. He wants an accent of some kind. It'd be nice to have an animal with me of some kind, not necessarily a cat. Well, that's good because we don't need another Ernest Blofeld. But something, any
German
animal,
Shepherd,
not a parrot or something real. So a parrot's not real.
No, something that's not like usual, I think is what he means. I think he means something that's like.
What does this mean? Caleb and Daimyo look like the kind of older brothers to tell younger brother Rolo that girl over there likes him.
I mean,
does she? I'm open to suggestions.
Well, I mean, we told you she does.
Who?
Just that girl over there.
Yeah, I'll hit her up. Let me get her number.
Okay.
Talk to us in Discord later. We'll help you out.
I'm confused by that, but I will.
He also wants to wear fur coats and stuff. So honestly, basically what he's described is like his character. You know, he's in a couple episodes of what's that called?
So his character
Down Abbey. He's in a couple episodes of Down Abbey. He's basically just described his character in Down Abbey.
So what I'm thinking is when he says the animal line, I don't think he quite means like something real, like in that way, but I think he means like a real animal he can have. Like he's probably looking for something exotic, like a freaking, like a huge fish tank, and then he has like an iguana, or he has like Komodo dragons, or something like that. Like something out of the blue.
Not this one, bro. 100%.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was a villain in Mission Impossible. He was great.
He was a villain. Yeah,
he got smashed by a car.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
It was a tragedy that he died.
I think we at the Golden Globes we had that what's it called, in memoriam, and I rarely give a shit. Like losing Matthew Perry last year was kind of sad, just because I enjoyed a lot of the stuff that I've seen him in, but I don't know him. I don't feel sad on that kind of level. But Seymour Hoffman, that guy was a fucking actor.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I mean, fucking fantastic.
Daimyo, your girlfriend in the chat.
I responded. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What?
Go away.
What about the shower?
Oh
Mom?
my god, she's gonna walk in. That was fucking weird, right?
Wait for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on.
Daimyo, you watched the Golden Globes last night, didn't you?
The Emmys?
Was it the Emmys? Yeah, the Emmys.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay. So while I pull that up, I wanted to talk to you about that. Rollo, did you watch the Emmys?
Fuck no.
Did you watch any of the stuff that happened at the Emmys?
Look, I didn't.
Somebody get slapped?
Want to? We were in VC and someone brought it up and they shared it. So yeah, I decided to tune in, but was pleasantly surprised. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Look, I think Succession cleaned up, didn't they? They won almost.
Bro, they cleaned house. I think they won 4 awards for the whole thing, maybe even 5.
Succession led the way with 27 nominations.
Damn.
And brought home 6 Emmys.
Wow. Yeah, wow. So because I think I started maybe 30 to an hour late, but I watched them win 4 awards. And let me just say this. They went up against on multiple awards, Star Wars and The Last of Us, and I loved watching them get shit on, and Succession taking it home.
Now, my understanding is that The Last of Us is actually a really good TV show.
Your understanding is
yeah. So it's
you can't disappear.
Yeah, look, the second I saw both of their stupid ass faces, I would get triggered immediately. And yeah, look, Succession deserved the amount of awards and nominations they got. It's a fucking fantastic show. There's no agenda pushing in it. It's just a good show about a bunch of fucked up people, elite people that don't care about anything but themselves. And the production itself was so high that it's incredible watch. I don't know if either of you have watched it yet, but you should have. It was much deserving. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very much so. Very deserving of what they succeeded with at the Emmys. I just found it very funny that in multiple of these awards, either The Last of Us or Star Wars, specifically Obi-Wan, was up against them. And
he won last year.
Yeah, it was. The beginning of last year, but yeah, it was.
No,
I mean, dude, they were. It was nominated.
It was 2021.
But there were nominations.
2022.
But there were nominations for it still. So
I don't understand the calendar for this shit anymore. Then, because I don't think I even had a channel during when Kenobi was coming out.
Was Andor nominated for anything?
Why would Andor be nominated for something? It's shit.
Andor was there too. I guess you're right.
It had some really great cinematography.
I don't know why they were nominated for stuff. That is a little odd.
Andor had good acting and good music.
So bring up Pilgrim's comment, his last one. Yeah, so that is a little odd because I was confused about that. And then same with House of the Dragon. I think there were nominations for that as well.
There were a couple, yeah.
And so
anything?
Maybe no, I don't think House of the Dragon won anything.
That's retarded.
Do you think it has something to do with the fiscal year versus the?
Yeah, in fact, House of the Dragon was only nominated for Outstanding Drama.
Wait. Was Rings of Power nominated for anything?
Can you drop them real quick?
No. It makes sense.
They weren't.
Rings of Power wasn't either?
No.
So they're probably going to be next year then. Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, Andor, all that shit, probably next year.
Well, but dude, half the shit that you just said was in the nominations this year. So why would they?
Oh, okay.
Well, he's talking about for the new season.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. You better be. Otherwise, it's a really dumb statement.
Yeah, because it sounded like he was asking about those shows from last night.
I'm talking about all three of those will probably be nominated in the new season.
Look, I don't know how it works. All I know is what I saw. And House of the Dragon, Obi-Wan, they were all, like, both those shows were nominated last night. So.
I'll bet you Acolyte wins a ton of shit.
So it's really unfortunate that they're getting hit with a bunch of cold weather.
Yeah.
Their internet must be down. It's really sad, but
it can stay down. It can
Damio,
stay down.
we talked about this last night, but I wanted to know what you thought about this.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
for anyone that doesn't know,
stupid.
This is Peter Dinklage.
Bring him back in. Bring him back in.
This is Peter Dinklage coming to announce the winner of Outstanding Drama. The top award at the Emmys.
What?
For a he has won 3 Emmys for Game of Thrones, 2 as supporting actor, and then I think 1 as a member of the cast for Outstanding Show.
But why are they doing it like this? If House of the Dragon's not winning anything, why are they?
So because some people might not know, the Emmys it was the, I think, 75th anniversary of the Emmys. And so they had a bunch of things, sets and cast from past shows. The entire cast of Cheers showed up, a bunch of people from basically a different show that was the best show of that decade for the last 70 years, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the last show was Game of Thrones. It's the best show of the 2010s. So Peter Dinklage comes out to, and of course they spent the last week basically kind of teasing us. The cast is going to return. Everyone's going to be here. Come watch. And I think that was simply so that we'd watch the Emmys. But this is what he does when this is what he does when he comes out to present his award. his view from the thing that made him, I don't think it'd be too crazy to say a cultural icon.
Yes. So that's the main thing that I was thrown off about was, first of all, the fact that he did that thing. Second of all, was why it was just him coming out and presenting. And I think that's a contradiction in itself that he's even holding up the ticket winner, and hiding himself from looking at the thing. So you're the only one that shows up to actually present this and to be there out of the cast. And then you're going to kind of throw shade on the show that got you to where you're going to be. It's a big contradiction. I'm not going to stay here and pretend like I was following this kind of story or whatnot, but I found it very odd that all these other shows had most of the cast members. Cheers, specifically with Ted Danson, pretty much
And
they're all
100
years old, right? And I didn't even really know that show, but I can at least recognize the fact that these people are well into their 70s and 80s, and they show up. Well, they show up, and then for Game of Thrones, not one actor other than Tyrion or Peter Dinklage shows up to do the award. It just felt very weird, especially after sitting there for an hour and a half watching the portion of the Emmys that I did. And you saw all these, a bunch of shows that I never watched or really was familiar with, but I saw all the cast members showing up for that. And then the show that I care about most about, Game of Thrones, it's not even that old. It's the youngest show out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know why, right?
Only Peter Dinklage shows up. I just felt like it was fucking weird.
Well, you know why, right? Because only Peter Dinklage really cares about that show anymore. They all were bitching and moaning about
quite the opposite from what I heard, right?
No,
Damio, would you like to go?
I was gonna say, from what I understand, Peter Dinklage shits on the show any opportunity he can.
Yeah, Rollo.
He tries to make money off of it. I'm talking about the other actors want nothing to do with it anymore.
That's again the opposite case of what I've always
heard.
You
at least at first.
Okay, so how cozy is the rock that you live under? That's what I want to know.
No, I'm saying at least at first. Like if you go back and look at interviews with them, they are alluding the same way that you would have.
Dude, look, okay, so from what I understand, Kit Harington makes a whole bunch of liberal bullshit like comments on any interview he's in. I think from what I've heard, what's her name? Daenerys, what's her name? Sorry, I'm forgetting it.
Emilia Clarke. What does this mean? Caleb has 100% done shots out of a dagger's blood groove before.
I don't know.
Are you talking about the...
That sounds like my brain went somewhere else.
But, sorry, let me finish this thought before I get fucking cut off. Emilia Clarke, from what I understand, is like somewhat civil about Game of Thrones Season 8 and whatnot. I don't really know about the actor of Rob and what he said, but pretty much everyone but Tyrion but Peter Dinklage is pretty civil about how they talk about Game of Thrones, and then Peter Dinklage kind of shits on stuff in the media.
Peter Dinklage,
is that correct? Or
yes, Peter Dinklage has made millions of dollars off of playing a dwarf in a TV show. Came off that show and said no one should ever play a dwarf simply because they're short, and ruined the careers of several Hollywood actors who happen to be dwarves because all of these studios decided that they can't cast smaller actors anymore. And he's just a dick. He sits there and like shits on Game of Thrones because it didn't end the way, but he doesn't shit on Game of Thrones. He doesn't shit on D&D. He shits on us, the people that watched the show, that made it an 18 million per hour watch show. The season finale or the series finale was like 22 million people. It was the most watched TV show in the history of the
Well,
world.
and also, Caleb, we were talking to someone in Discord the other night. He made something like, I think they said 1.2 million per episode. Right?
I think it was 2.5.
2.5 million per episode. Let's look that up because that's actually pretty interesting. To shit on a show that and there's what, roughly 6 to 8 episodes
1.2.
per. Yeah, 1.2.
Supporting role, modest screen time. I don't think I had modest screen time.
But there's
which
what,
means
8?
he likely commanded a much.
8 to 10.
Oh, this is talking about a different show. Yeah, so what? 1.2 million per episode.
So 8
for the final season,
roughly, because you got to take this stuff with a grain of salt, but roughly 8 to 10 episods per season. 8 seasons.
No, so that was the final season for season 8.
Still,
6 episodes.
That's 8.
7.4 million dollars.
Yes, exactly what I was kind of getting at. Like just the last season. So think about what he made for the first 7 seasons. He probably he walked out of there loaded.
Like,
yeah. He does have Funkos. Don't cover them, Rolo.
I'm not covering shit.
Pre-season 8, the core cast members, including Amelia Clark and Kit Harington, were all apparently making a rather decent $500,000 per episode.
Yeah, dude, he'd walk out there easily over $10 million. Easily. Right? Probably closer to 15. Right?
Yeah, that, I mean...
He probably made $15 million off of that show alone. Closer to 17, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, for the record, my Funkos are all gifts from people.
That's exactly what I would tell people, too.
It's true. I haven't bought a single one of them except for the Darth Revan that I have.
So we already have one exception. Do you have 2 other exceptions?
A shit lord? Bud? Shit lord?
Darth Revan.
What are the chances? Because I kind of want to talk about this whole thing about the Emmys. What are the chances either the 2 of y'all or anyone in the chat has watched what show was it? Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, I watched Grey's Anatomy because my ex-girlfriend loved it.
Okay, bro, you're slurring like a bitch. You need to.
You can't hear me. I can move forward. So I watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy because my ex-girlfriend loved it.
Okay. How long is Katherine Heigl in that show?
I don't know. I watched like probably 4 or 5 seasons.
All right, so she is apparently in the first 6 seasons. My understanding is that the show has continued for like another 13 seasons.
That show's still on?
Yeah. In fact, it's over 20 seasons now. She was at the fucking Emmys. She showed up to do her little thing with the Grey's Anatomy group that went to the Emmys. And again, the #1 show in history cannot field more than 1 actor from it. I get that he's the only American, but still.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think more so.
You should not know that, bro. You should not know that.
What?
I think Peter Dinklage had a list of mandatories for him to show up. I need this. I need that. I need you to do this. That's kind of what I'm thinking based off of what I know about Peter Dinklage. I think he was kind of like, you need to let me do this. If I show up, I need to have this in my back room or backstage room. All this other bullshit.
I want these M&Ms, not these ones.
No, that's absolutely what it's going to be. Or what it is, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it very odd that it was just him. I was pretty excited to see all of them up on stage. It felt so weird. They have a whole presentation of the throne, of the Iron Throne, and it's just Peter Dinklage walking out, and then he
that's never been on the throne before.
Hides his face from it's just the whole thing felt odd.
He's never even sat on the throne.
True.
So I'm saying,
he was Hand of the King for a little while. It would have been really fun to see him actually sit on the throne for Joffrey.
That's what he should have done.
And like have moments where he had to like crawl up there. Like that would have been such a cruel scene to film.
Well,
and like if Joffrey showed up and was like, no, you're sitting, but we're gonna take away your stool or some shit like that. That would have been such a cruel scene. I hope. Well, I guess he's no longer there, but I was gonna say I hope George writes that in somewhere.
So what I'm saying is he should have walked out of there, walked up those stairs and sat on the throne, and then revealed whoever the winner was. If it's only him. If he's the only one that showed up, at least do something cool like that. Like,
I think he just should have
like,
jeez. I think he just should have shown some appreciation for the thing that signifies the
I agree.
show that created his career.
Well, okay, so when we were watching it last night, it gave off the feeling like he's doing a job.
Mm-hmm.
No passion, no appreciation for what was done. He walked up.
No wowness.
Yeah, just walked up and hello everyone, made some fucking cheeky statement, and then
a better story.
Yeah, who has a better story?
Oh.
And then just reads
the broken.
And then just reads it off. It felt like there was no it really looked like he was paid to be there. No emotion.
Oh, he was.
He was stoic, straight faced the whole time. There was no ounce of appreciation for the show at all. It just felt weird. Like that's really all I have to say to it. I didn't read the books. I'm not a mega fan, but I love the show. I've watched it multiple times, and there's enough passion that I have for it to where if I was part of the show, like I would have given it more love than that. But I think it just shows the character of the true character of Peter Dinklage, not Tyrion Lannister, right? Because Tyrion, I won't lie, during my first watch through, Tyrion, still to this day, one of my favorite characters in that show.
Really good character. Till he, shits the bed in season 8.
Yes, of course, but like the whole thing with him and his family and the contradiction of him, or the lack of, he's fighting a war against his own family. Like that whole trope was really well done, and you grow to love Tyrion as a character, and you want to see him succeed. And then to see how he shits on it at the Emmys. I just felt like it was just in bad taste.
Well, even his first introduction as a character when Jamie finds him is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you instantly kind of get to like the character when he's then at the dinner with the Starks.
So this will be the last thing we talk about with this whole Peter Dinklage thing. But I think the thing that really made me like Tyrion as a character was when he showed up to save John. He had like 2 or 3 different interactions with John by then, and you could really tell that there was a recognition that there was a similarity between the two of them, and the whole all dwarves are bastards in their father's eyes. I think that really kind of hit home.
I don't even think it was just that it was John. I think it was that he knew, like when he first met him in Winterfell in season 1, that he was like, this is a strong-hearted, good man. And I think that's when he heard, like, Jon Snow's still alive, because he didn't know, right? So he's like, oh, shit, he's alive and he's doing this? Yeah, I'm going to help him out. Which is just awesome. I loved that whole entire thing. That was awesome.
So we've got probably just one more big thing to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I gotta dip in a few minutes.
Purist says Tywin was gangster. Yep.
He was.
Yeah,
I really liked Tywin.
So many good characters throughout, to be honest. Yep.
I love the what was it?
Rillo's hot mom.
No, who was Tyrion's like guy, like the homie?
Bronn.
Bronn.
Yeah, Bronn.
Yeah, Bronn was the shit. And
Like Bronn a lot.
Beric Dondarrion was sick. Because he was just like some lord who was supposed to go down in season 1. He got sent to go and kill the mountain, and then you never see him again.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just shows up with like one eye and a freaking flaming sword, and you're like, the fuck? That dude you saw for 2 seconds in like season 1 is now just a badass. Yeah.
No, I liked him.
Beric Dondarrion, actually, that's the one thing I liked about that episode with the White Walkers in season 8 is when he died. I was like, yeah, he would go out like that, stopping everything, like as much as he can, just holding them back. I can see that. That was the only
Daimyo has. Excuse me.
You all right there, buddy?
Yeah, Daimyo has one last little thing that we're going to talk about here. Is this the best link? Daimyo?
Bestman's Bulletin, which is where it's coming from.
So
making Star Wars and Bestman's Bulletin
yep.
is
So
what it's about.
Apparently, there's new news on the Rey movie.
So, I if you guys are as deep into this stuff as I am, you know that Bestman's Bulletin doesn't get everything right.
Mm-hmm.
I have been duped in the past. I refuse to. Okay, this is where I was going.
Got a lot wrong for Ahsoka.
Chill there for a second.
Everyone calm down.
Yeah, I'm not saying I believe this stuff. What I'm saying is that you have to take it with a grain of salt. I've been duped in the past. I'm not like that anymore with rumors and whatnot. I would say though, it being delayed is probably correct in this sense, given the Mandalorian. Yeah, I mean purist. Okay, so might as well taking it from Sparrow, Cameron Pasha, aka. Yeah, but you know, hate to say it, they got the Mando stuff correct.
I mean, he's no Mike Zero.
No. Like, look, in all honesty, like all jokes aside, they are probably 25-75 for the most part. We don't know if this is true or not, but it's something to talk about. That's kind of where we're at with this. The Mando, like they came out with an article a month before the Mando thing actually got announced and said that the Mandalorian season 4 was going to be turned into this. I'm not sitting here like, oh, it's canceled. No, but it's something to talk about, right? Like, I think it actually tracks where if the Mandalorian thing, right. So pull up that comment. So
which one, purist or program?
Purists. That last one. Yeah. So not one person has said that it's getting canceled.
Right. Purist, calm down for just a second here, please. Let Daimyo explain what this is about because I haven't read this article. He has. So just give him a second and go away.
Well, no.
Not go away. Go on, Daimyo.
Yeah, no. Literally, like I'm gonna leave it at I don't buy into the rumor stuff anymore. I'm calm as fuck. You seem calm. You've typed about 10 messages in the past 20 seconds. But look, at the end of the day, we should take this stuff with a grain of salt. Always don't buy into it. I would argue. I pretty much said my piece already. I would argue that given the Mandalorian announcement about the movie, season 4 becoming a movie, this should be taken with a grain of salt, but should also be considered the fact that, yeah, with them announcing all this bullshit, there might be a chance that it does come true. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's canceled, right? But we have seen a lot of the times when they say indefinitely delayed, it tends to be on the
tends to be
sorry, no,
usually
sorry,
canceled.
I was reading
I
things.
thought your
Yeah.
first.
So sorry, I was reading the chat for a second. My bad. When people tend to say, not people, when articles tend to, when Lucasfilm announces something as indefinitely delayed, it tends to be on the negative side, as we're not going to see it happening.
Oh, 100%.
Again, I'm not buying into it. I think they will make this movie 100%. I think it's getting delayed from 2026 to about 2028, and we're not going to see it for a long time. But that's my point. That's all I really want to talk about it.
I think they're still going to make it, though.
I think so too. I think there's a high chance that it's probably it's probably still going to get made. But yeah. You guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you want to go through it?
I mean, no, I agree. I don't think they're gonna. If there's any one, they're not gonna delete. It's this one, and the Mando one. But I think we're definitely gonna get it at some point. Whether or not it'll be good, I doubt it. I guess we'll have to see. I don't know why they go with this decision, but they are. Then again, I would have much rather have seen the Rogue Squadron movie and stuff like that. I thought that, that could have been more fun. Just to give somebody something fun to do. Fun movie that just doesn't really connect to anything. It's just a fun little movie.
Wait, but Ray and fun movie in the same.
No, he was talking about Rogue Squadron.
Oh.
But once again,
I tried to gotcha.
The problem that exists here is you've got people talking about Star Wars movies that do not include lightsabers of the Force, so therefore they are not Star Wars movies. As I've said in the past, you cannot do Star Wars when you have completely removed the very essence of Star Wars.
So I agree and I disagree. You can do Star Wars like that if you have other media out at the same time that does have full-on Star Wars shit.
Yeah, just like what I said last Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can have Star Wars go, like, you can have Andor, and that can be awesome. That can be great and have nothing in it. But if you have awesome Star Wars movies out where there's lightsaber battles and the Force and space battles and all this other shit, then you're set. Then you have both of them going, and it's really not that difficult.
So the last thing I wanted to add on this was Stephen Knight reportedly was the last writer of the script. Is that correct?
I have no idea. I really don't know shit about this thing.
I'm pretty sure Stephen Knight was the last person to be reported as the writer of the script. Please don't quote me on that. I think that was the last one. Charmino Beto Chinoy or Mihoy Minoy was supposed to be the one directing it. But Stephen Knight was the one writing it. He might have been pulled off, but I made a video earlier about the Peaky Blinders because he's the one that is like he wrote that whole show.
That's what gave people somewhat of a shot about this movie was that Stephen Knight, the writer and I believe director of Peaky Blinders, was going to write this movie.
So it actually does track and make sense if this movie's delayed because he's pushing his, and I talked about that, is that he's pushing his Peaky Blinders movie now, starring Cillian Murphy and Paul Anderson, and I think it makes sense for him, especially with all this kind of drama surrounding the movie and Rey herself. If knowing how Lucasfilm projects go, I could see him putting more focus into the Peaky Blinder film over putting precedence over that. Stephen Knight's overrated, though. He seems to have a better TV show / resume than movie one, and that's a fair point. I'm not holding Stephen Knight in a high regard. I'm just saying I would trust him more with Peaky Blinders, his own creation, over a Rey movie. I don't want to see the Rey movie. I'm not gonna go watch that movie. I think he knows the Peaky Blinders stuff well enough to create a good script, not necessarily direct the movie, But if he puts together a very good script, I could see him, if they bring on a good director, I could see that movie doing pretty well. There's a lot of fan bases around that. Pura says Peaky Blinders, the only project people can randomly name of his. Yeah, look, again, I'm not saying that he's good for Star Wars. I never have. I'm saying that he should stick to his Peaky Blinders project because that's the one thing that he's done well. Actually, because I even said that in the video I made, that like I don't know Stephen Knight outside of Peaky Blinders, so I don't really even want him touching Star Wars, especially under the sequel trilogy bullshit.
That's just a
I think it would much rather, like, he should stick to his guns. And the story he made with Peaky Blinders is good. Whether or not you credit him as a good director or writer, he is good at what he's done so far, which is Peaky Blinders.
A great example of that is Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan is very good at writing the things that he knows a lot about. Yellowstone, 1923, 1883. He also wrote, what's that other thing? Lioness. It's the
don't know it.
Special Ops Lioness. That's what it's called, which apparently is crap. So that's something that's the only project of Sheridan's that has been described as crap. So it's also the biggest thing outside of his wheelhouse. Even Sicario, which he wrote the first two of, he grew up in that area of Texas, so he knows what that kind of shit's like. So I think what Daimyo is sitting here saying is basically that it's better to stick with the thing that you know, the thing that is your bread and butter, rather than branching out and making something that is that if it dumps like Indiana Jones did with Mangold, then your career could get fucked.
Well, okay. So one of the things after just looking it up right now, because I actually didn't know, Stephen Knight is a Brit, right? So he's English. Okay. So it goes exactly to what you're saying, and from the rumors and whatnot, he submitted a script for this Ray movie or whatever. What's up, John?
John.
It was given back he was given so many notes that you have to just scrap the idea and rewrite it. So if you want to ruin your career as an upcoming writer and making productions in Hollywood in general, you probably don't want to join Lucasfilm at this point.
Oh, hell no.
Right? So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, he should just stick to what he knows, which is English history and all that other bullshit. He'd probably make a great knights movie, right? Like medieval movie of a bunch of English
We haven't had a historical epic in a long time.
Yeah, but like that's what okay, so the Peaky Blinders stuff it's like 1910
23, right?
It's 1910 to about 1930. That's where the story spans from.
Okay.
So right after World War I up until World War II is where this time period takes place.
So 1919.
Yes.
World War I ends in 1918.
Yes, sorry. Okay. Still. It's
you can't know everything.
Yeah, I know. I'm not yeah. No. But you hear what I'm saying. Like, he does a really good job showing the time periods that he's covering in England, the place that the country that he's lived. I don't necessarily trust him to do a science fiction IP as big as Star Wars. And I fucking hate most of the shit that comes out. So I don't want to see him do his take on Star Wars, especially with Rey. And so Peaky Blinders is something that's done well, but that's I'll leave it at that. That's my take on it. I'm not going to sit here and say the Rey movie's canceled. Let's all, let's cheer and praise it.
That's what a lot of people are saying, though. I doubted it, but I saw it like a couple times today on like Twitter and shit like that. I was like, yeah, I'll believe it when I actually see Lucasfilm say it.
But yeah, I think a lot of people got duped by it. I woke up and I started laughing when I saw that stuff because I think it's funny. We brought up Rogue Squadron. It got indefinitely delayed and then never happened. So there's a chance that might happen. But I think there's too much writing on Rey, and they just, how
what is riding on Rey?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me. I think I see.
I think Rey's riding on something else.
I think I see a.
Hang on. Let's count them. Let's count them.
I think I see a sequel trilogy. Luke Skywalker in your background.
4, 5. I think I count 7 Disney Star Wars things behind you.
Are you a Disney shill, Rollo?
What Disney Star Wars shit do you see right now?
Well, the 3 statues.
The Luke Skywalker right there.
No, not the 3 statues at the top. That Obi-Wan is the Mythos Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The one on the point to the other one. That is 100% Last Jedi Luke Skywalker.
No, that's Force Awakens Luke Skywalker, and I bought it before the movie.
Is that Disney Skywalker? Is that Disney Star Wars? And that is also Disney Star Wars.
Yes, because that's when I started buying Hot Toys. When Disney Star Wars was coming out, there was still hope.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm more impressed about.
$200 figure for
what I'm more impressed about is the fact that hang on, let's run it one more time.
Wait, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Shut for 1 second.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're just coming off stupid.
What I'm more impressed about is if we look over I'm gonna guess it is his left-hand shoulder. We'll see. It looks like he's got a little sticker sitting there. I think that's a Real Wade Nation gaming sticker, and I just want to say I love. Sorry, right hand sticker, right. No, shoulder.
It's not. It's not.
I love the fact that you're supporting Wade. It's really impressive. Oh my God, he had to go away. Damn it. Oh, that's so sad. Honestly, I would have stuck with it being Real Wade.
No, I was given this for free when I went to Celebration in 2019.
Did you go to Celebration?
Fuck you.
I had no idea.
Well, there might be people here that know it that didn't know I did. So, anyway,
what do you have to say to this breaking news? Bro, no response to Crimson Law claiming that you own Wookiee pubes.
I can't confirm nor deny.
I think if he didn't, we would know that he didn't. So
can't confirm or deny.
Well, I'm shockingly talked out.
That's surprising.
I'm just as surprised as you are.
I mean, there wasn't much going on.
It is a very kind of boring last week. But what do I always say? It's not a King's Advisor stream unless what?
I don't know, dude.
Unless I talk about
you fuck with me for some reason.
Unless I talk about
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yes. And so just as part of that, we already did talk about Game of Thrones a little bit. But I just want to remind everybody that it has been 4,567 days since The Dance with Dragons came out. It's been 12 years, 6 months, and 1 day.
That's the only thing stopping me from reading the books. Seriously. I'm reading everything else, but I'm not reading that shit. Because
12 years.
The only reason I would read is to study for my own book. And writing styles and stuff, but otherwise, I don't want to read it and get into it and then be like, well, fuck, I'm never going to get it again.
Yep.
So that's why I haven't done it. I've just been rereading Tolkien and rereading Harry Potter and a lot of the Halo and Star Wars books that I really liked. And I'm just rereading all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of like, and reading a little bit of Drinker's novels.
Mm-hmm.
That's helping with like my own thing with writing my book.
Well, you know, you gotta be careful if you continue to indulge in your substances, your brain will get so like mushed that you won't be able to write.
You gotta get the Saruman line. Yo, love of the halflings.
That one. No, that's too long. That's too long. What I'd rather just go to is the gif of the pot chick from the 2005 anti-marijuana commercials. I mean, that's Rolo, isn't it? Everybody.
No.
I don't want to do anything today. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, don't you, Damian?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, everybody, that's I think that's going to be it tonight. A little bit, kind of a shorter. Oh, well, real quick, that's a really good point, Pilgrim. You know, there's like 40 different books you should read other than just rereading Tolkien over and over.
Oh yeah, fucking no. I have a whole bookshelf over there. I've read a lot of different books.
Should we do
No,
it?
but Pilgrim only.
Hang on. I want to see some of these books. This is going to go really well or really bad.
Drop it.
This is either going to be really good or really bad.
Actually, you're really gonna like this one, which I have right here, which I'm rereading right now.
Okay, yeah, classic, good book. Mm-hmm.
Haven't read
Robert
it.
Louis Stevenson, one of my favorite authors, and a great poet as well.
Let's see, who else is here? Where is it at?
Just grab like a bunch of random ones. I'm really just trying to judge whether or not you have actual classics and not just like 1950s stuff. Oh, bro, John comes in with a huge message for you. He watched an episode of Fargo last night and apparently thought it was crap.
Oh. That's all right.
Okay, he's taking too long. The funniness of this has ended. Everybody, thank you so much. Dog and Daimyo, thank you for the gifted memberships. Crimson Law, thank you for the super chat. Everybody, thank you so much.
Here's another one.
Slaughterhouse 5.
Keep going, Caleb, with your outro.
Pilgrim, John Graber, Crimson Law, Star Wars Marvel Purist. I saw Spud, Ronnie, our favorite mother, Rolo's hot mom, was in here. Heavy Hauler, great to see you. I'll talk to you later, dude. And RG Energy for a little bit. That's just more sci-fi.
Yeah, but it's good.
I hope everyone has a great week. I hope you come back next time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.